everyone, this is Andrea, the Girl Plus Paper. If you're new here, welcome to my channel. I was so excited when I was asked to be a part of Alison's 250th subscriber celebration blog hop. Alison has just been an inspiration to me for many, many years. I've always admired her scrapbooking layouts and just her creative talent. She has a style that's all her own, and I often use some of her Cricut Design Space links to make my very own memories come to life in my layouts. I think everything she does is just beautiful. So when I was asked if I would participate by making or redoing one of her layouts, I couldn't wait to get started because it's my hobby. Alison had this beautiful drink coffee layout and it had very subtle colors, and I had this perfect idea in my head on what to do with this particular layout. The coffee beans just spoke to me. My home, we all love coffee. But what I thought I would do different is work with this picture of our Starbucks mugs that we got last November when Starbucks did that free cup day. We run to Starbucks and get the holiday drinks so that this way we get our free reusable mugs for the rest of the holiday season. And so we snapped this picture, and that is the inspiration. I'm going to try to bring in all of the different colors and make this layout mine. So I've started with some emerald paper. All of my cardstock is from close to my heart, I should say. And I'm just going to lightly tack this overlay down by using some of my liquid adhesive right along the edges. And then you'll see that I just randomly go in and dot a few spots here and there. I don't think you need to cover the entire overlay because we're going to be layering a lot of layers on top of it. And that will all hold it down in place. I'm going to line that up, and it looks great, except for the fact that I got a few of the little red pieces stuck behind my overlay. Must have picked them up by accident. Next, I have this mint piece that I cut again. All I did was load up Alison's Design Space file and just switched out the colors to be cardstock that I liked, that matched my pictures. And so I'm just going to put this on, and I noticed that Alison's was a little bit askew, and so we're going to go with that. Next, I have this really old piece of Sparkle and Shine cardstock, and I am going to use that to back the coffee part of our overlay. I love how Alison always gives us these bright, bold words to use on our layouts, and those speak to me. I recently redid one of her other layouts, Are We There Yet? I made it a 2-page spread and turned it into a Disney layout to fit my photos. So she's so awesome. But anyway, back to the Starbucks one. My photo is a little bit bigger than the one that Alison used, and that's okay. I backed it in some black cardstock, and I'm going to keep it 4 by 6, and so my frame is 4 1/4 by 6 1/4. I'm just going to try to lift that up a bit so I still have room for all of these words underneath. And I need to put drink coffee next, but I think I'm going to start with the coffee part. This way I can work backwards from the edge into the middle and see how this overlaps, since I'm using a photo that's so much bigger than Alison's was. So I'm going to stick that down, and then there's this little tiny red period here. Drink coffee, period. Yep, that's our life here. So I'm poking that into place to a spot that I'd like it, and I'm just going to adhere down, if I can get it unstuck from my glue, the word drink. And then there'll also be a little dot that I've got to find for the word drink. I'm going to line everything up just a bit, move it around. You have a few moments when you use those liquid adhesives. So that's always fun. So I'm going to put that little red dot down, and it would just get off my finger. There we go. Done. And we're going to move on to some of the other elements. Now, I've already gone ahead and glued the pieces to the latte cups together, and you might have noticed that I used my journaling pen to just give some lines to the cup top. Alison really cutely sewed. She stitched each of the little pieces to those latte cups, and I'm not really into stitching. I like my layouts a little bit quicker, just because my house and my kids are always, you know, keeping me busy, my scrapbooking has to be relatively quick. So I'm going to give you a little cheater shortcut on how to add stitching without actually stitching the paper in just a few moments. But I'm going to leave it off those coffee cups. I think I have enough detail there with just having put the detail of the lids on. So I like that. I always love how there's so many white or neutral color elements on Alison's pages. I admire how they all work together so beautifully. But for me, with these mugs, I thought a little pop of color with candy apple red or mint. I lost the layout here. I want to show you the little Better Make It tea. I changed it to Carry the Mary, which is exactly what it says all over the Starbucks, you know, containers here. I went ahead and did that in Design Space and changed that a bit. It's 2 layers, red, and I cut the letters out of the white and mounted it on red, and then I put some stitches, some solid lines around that as well. Now I'm just putting on the final couple coffee cups, and you might notice that I do use foam tape quite often. I like to have different heights to my layouts, so the foam tape often works to do that. And I'm just going to tuck the word Starbucks under here. I wrote that by hand. And then also I have a tag with the date. I put both of these upside down, and then I wrote on the back and flipped them around. So if you see the date written the other way, that was just me making a little mistake. So now I have November 6th, 2020 on there. That's a date in case anybody else is scrapbooking it. I have a couple little journaling pieces, and those, I don't want them to get lost on the white overlay. So I'm going to use a piece of really thin foam tape, not wide at all. And I'm just going to pop up those journaling spots as well, because I want them just to have a little definition off the page. And I kind of like it over here on the right. And so we'll put down this last one as well. And really simple journaling on this one. There's not very much that you can say about these Starbucks mugs, except that, you know, we always want to get the reusable ones each and every year. It's become our tradition. Now I have some of these old wooden shapes from one of the past Close to My Heart collections, and there's some really cute trees. So this is an addition that Alison did not have on her layout, but I wanted to bring into mine because I just thought that the trees would bring just a little bit of a Christmas touch to this layout without too much. You know, it's just simple and there. So you'll see I'll fuss with the elements until I feel that I don't want to take away from the other elements that are already on the layout. And some of these trees seem to be a little heavy. So I'm going to move this around just a bit and see if it works. And then I think I kind of like that, but there's just too much. Those solid trees are too much. So I'm eventually going to move some more things around, and I'm going to pull some stars out of my bag instead. I do things like that. I felt like the stars were a little lighter and that they might be a better fit for this layout. I just felt like they were there. They're cool accents. They form a triangle when I put them here, and I love triangles in my scrapbooking. Yeah, I think that gives it some nice interest by putting it into a triangle. Just deciding exactly where I want to put this one. So that's glued down, and one last star here. And there we go. So I have the triangle of the wooden elements. They're always fun to play with. And I'm going to bring in some of these enamel hearts. I've used these in a few layouts now, you might have seen on my channel here, but I'm going to use those instead of the little pieces of cardstock hearts that were cut out of the actual Cricut Design Space file. And I'm just going to put them onto the white coffee cups because I feel like that's really going to, you know, give it a little added dimension. So one thing I just quickly moved through is that Alison had these beautiful stitches all over, real stitches. But I'm going to do cheater stitches. I'm grabbing my black journaling pen, and I'm just going along and putting some dashes that are going to mimic some stitches. It's not going to be as pretty as Alison's, but it's mine. I'm okay with it looking like this. It's just a little added detail. And here are a few close-up views of the completed layout. I can't thank Alison enough for giving me this opportunity. If you're new to the Girl Plus Paper channel, please consider becoming one of my subscribers and hit the notification bell so you don't miss any of my upcoming projects. Thanks for stopping by and have a very creative day.